Hello everyone. 4.9 is now on the public PTU Wave 1. Here we have again Olakin's fantastic website, Stasis and Chips Performances Viewer. Link to this is in my first pinned comment below. Olakin has now a new table, quantum ranges of all chips in 4.9. Usual disclaimer, this is a 4.9 PTU patch. This might not go to life like that. And even if, there will be a lot of changes in the many years to come. Having said this, this looks once again like CIG did this. I don't expect no errors in a PTU patch. Of course, there can always be errors. We all make mistakes. I make mistakes. But CIG is really terrible with that data. It almost looks like some interns just put numbers in randomly and no one ever checks anything. No colleagues, no supervisors. Let's take a look in detail. First, why is there a range? For example, Drake Corsair, 376 gigameters up to 1067 gigameters. The range is because there are different quantum drives. Some quantum drives are a lot more efficient than others. This means the highest range you get with the most efficient quantum drive, the lowest range with the least efficient one. And crafted quantum drives can have a much higher efficiency than ones you can buy in shops. This table is about non-crafted standard quantum drives. Usually a quantum drive that is more efficient is a lot slower than a quantum drive that is less efficient. If you are just going for the most efficient quantum drive, you will spend a lot of time in quantum. I hope you have a second monitor where you can watch YouTube, Netflix, Prime or whatever. Some chips, for example Idris, only have one value because you cannot change the quantum drive of an Idris. And like I mentioned, there are lots of errors and lots of decisions that make little sense. Why has Drake Corsair the highest range of all chips? Followed by 890 Jump, Su CL, Anvil Carrack. Carrack I can understand. Then we have MISC Freelancer. MISC Freelancer has one of the highest quantum ranges of all chips in 4.9, even higher than an Idris. The value of base Freelancer is especially funny because Freelancer Duo is supposed to be a long-range expedition variant of the Freelancer, but it has less range than a base Freelancer in 4.9 at the moment. Only explanation I have, someone worked on this, maybe an intern, who has no idea what a MISC Freelancer Duo is supposed to be. Maybe I can refresh the memory of this intern, or maybe intern should just look at CIG's ship pages. Freelancer Duo, the Freelancer Duo variant specializes in exploration, sacrificing 25% cargo capacity of the standard Freelancer for an enhanced jump drive, a more advanced scanner, and an expanded fuel tank. May seem like a bad call to some, but those who value discovery over profit will find it to be their ship of choice. Yeah, Freelancer Duo is the exploration variant of the base Freelancer with a much longer range, but not at the moment. Again, I can understand that some errors are getting put into data. This can always happen, but CIG is so unprofessional with this. My fear is that CIG is putting the same care they put into checking their numbers into all the other aspects of the game, for example into coding. Origin 400i, 600i, Aquila makes sense, and we have Idris M and P. I think those chips should have a much longer quantum range. Reclaimer, Starlifter, Caterpillar, Ironclad, MISC High C, Argomol, Arco-Raft, rather long ranges for those ships. Taurus, Vanguards with a very high range. I won't mention every ship, I just look at some things that are really strange. Another thing that's really silly, Hammerhead, 241 to 342 gigameters. While Tiburon only has 47 to 67 gigameters, much less than even a starter ship. Okay. CIG, please start to check the numbers. Let colleagues, let supervisors look over the numbers before you publish a patch to the PTU. And this isn't exactly the first PTU patch. This was in the hands of Ibukati before it went to public wave 1. I would think Hammerhead and Tiburon should have roughly the same quantum range. Starfarer, Perseus, Polaris. Polaris has a rather lower range. Redeemer, Asgard, Valkyrie, Cutlasses, Andromeda, Phoenix, Hermes. Misk, Freelancer Duo with a much shorter quantum range than a base Freelancer. Morph, some smaller ships. Eclipse, rather smaller range. Freelancer Mist has a very short range too. And we have some really small ships like Titan, Gladius, Saber, Hornets. For comparison, I made a table about typical quantum ranges in Stanton. This means if you are using a fast quantum drive on those ships, you won't even get to most distances within Stanton. So you have to do fuel stops. Are you hoping for someone coming up with a Starfarer or Starfarer NPC? But this doesn't exactly work very reliable. Docking to a Starfarer still has a lot of issues and quite often doesn't work. I don't know what I should think about this. This looks like reducing quantum ranges to force players to do refueling or to look for a Starfarer. But those basic game mechanics don't work reliably. Even if you say, okay, I have to refuel a few times or I have to ask for a Starfarer, refueling on a pad still doesn't work reliably, and docking with a Starfarer is still a gamble. Star Citizen is a space game. Some things should take time. I don't want to teleport all over the system in a split second. This is fine. But once again, it looks like Chris thinks the more boring, the more tedious, the more time sinks a game has, the more people will love it. No, Chris, you are totally wrong. This will be a disaster. How about making a game fun and interesting? I guess you have no idea how to do this, Chris. At the very least, you should correct some of the massive errors this table still has. This looks very unprofessional. Thank you very, very much again, Olakin, for all your hard work. This is very useful. I really like your website. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. I want to show you the Valaka tank. It's actually quite huge, but of course it has no use at all. It's just hanger decoration fluff. You can do nothing with it. You cannot even shoot at it. Oh, you can. I mean, you cannot destroy it, but you can move it with bullets, okay? Nothing in this game has mass. Everything has a mass of an empty paperback. Okay, I didn't expect this.
Not because our physics code is terrible, in fact, it's great.
Hey, you're still here. You might want to join me on Twitter or on Blue Sky.